Oh, hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's video, what we're going to be going over is the easiest opening to learn for beginners. And so I'm rated around 1900, and I play this game against other 1900s, and it works like a charm. So in Bullet, you can pre-move a lot of stuff, which is good in Bullet. And then in Rapid, if they play something that I'm not 100% familiar with, I go for this setup, and what it does is it avoids opening knowledge and opening theory, where it puts us into a middle game. Like, it just gets past the opening, gets us into a middle game, and we got to play chess from there. And so that can be a good thing or a bad thing, because the game is in favor of whoever studied the opening more. So like, if you study the Sicilian a lot and you play somebody and they go into a Sicilian line, you're just inherently going to have the edge over them. It's like you studied for the test more than they did, and vice versa. So if you go into something and you're not 100% comfortable with it, you can go for this setup, and guaranteed nobody playing you has ever faced this many times. So there's no theory behind this. So they're not going to know what to do. You're not really going to know what to do. And it's just going to be a different setup every time. And so the one caveat is this is not a real opening. This is more of like a non-committal, non-confrontational setup. Like an opening needs to have a corresponding black move, like e4, e5, whatever. But this doesn't have a corresponding black move, because you're going to be going for the same thing regardless of what black plays, unless there's a direct reason like a capture that makes it so that you can't play this, or a direct threat. Okay? So without further ado, that was about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's get into it and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you a couple examples. I'm going to explain what to do if there are captures, and then we're going to go and play a game where I put it into practice against a random opponent. Okay? So what we're going to do is, it doesn't really matter which way you get about to doing this. Most likely, put the pawns in the center, support the pawns with the flank pawns, and like I'm saying, they can't capture. If they capture, we're going to have to go into that. But if they don't capture and they allow you to just get this set up, this is what we're going for. Then if you're not sure which way the opponent is going to castle, so like right now it's our move, we could castle. If we're not sure, like if maybe they like advance the pawn over here, or it just seems like sketchy to castle this way, you simply bring the queen up. Say they do something, we bring the queen up, and then we can castle both ways. Sorry, it got froze for a second. And so you only do that if you're not 100% sure which way we're going to go, all right? And so this is just one example. We got here however we got here. The thing that you're going to see in common with all of these examples, I'm not sure if you can see this, in the Lichess database, I know I just like made up random moves for this example, but there's no game founds with this exact position in the entire Lichess database, because what is this little minor piece cube going on? This is not a real thing. People don't play this at the high level, and so there's no like study behind it. And so we're going to go through all of these examples, so bear with me. It's going to be very quick. Boom. One example. Not in the Lichess database, we still have a small advantage. Same here. Same here. Same here. Same here. Same here. And so this one, we even got a 1.3 advantage, which is actually really quite good for us. And there has been a game in the database. And so I really just went through and made the moves and tried to make like reasonable moves for black. And so this is what we ended up in. The only time that we're going to have to like deviate from our plan is, so say we do get here and they decide to capture. So what we're going to do here is we're going to capture back, and then say they just make a move. Now our knight can go to this square. And if you see, we still have a 1.3 advantage. So we are doing quite well. I know that black is like falling behind in development because I made weird moves, but this is generally what you're going to do. If the capture comes in, you recapture with the pawn, and then the knight from the other side of the board makes two moves to go to its natural square. So these are always the natural squares for the knights. And so this is a little bit strange because the other knight ends up there. This is the natural square for the B knight, but we're just going to make two moves to get there. So the same exact situation, if let's just make some moves. So we're going to bring the queen up, so we've got this castle. If they capture here, we capture back with this pawn. Then, say they make a move, then this knight goes over here. Okay? This situation, maybe it doesn't work 100% with what the computer's saying, but that's what we're going to do. We put the knights here, and if there's captures on these pawns, recapture with the pawn, and then throw a knight over there, okay? And so this is always pretty much going to work unless a capture happens very, very, very early on. And so I think that was enough examples. Let's just get into a real game, and I'm going to show you how it works. And so one more. These are all situations, real moves made from both sides. And if, as you can see, no games in the database. And what else can we do? I think that's pretty good. And so, all right, let's get into the games. And here we are in a game of chess, and I'm going to show you the setup and how it actually works. So, he didn't put a pawn in the middle. We We defend this pawn with the other pawn. We put this forward. We bring the bishop. We bring the bishop. I'm going to put this knight so I can castle this way first, just in case that's what I want to do. We're then going to put another knight there. If he captures, this is defended twice. And, I mean, so we're going to scoot this forward a little bit. Let me think for just a gosh darn second. I want to move this knight here, but I need two things defending this pawn. And so we're going to go like this to defend this so I can push this pawn. I'm not sure what that queen move really accomplished, but scoot forward. The knight can get in a little bit. We're going to scoot back because that bishop was being attacked. And so like I said, we got the opening. The opening definitely worked. And so now we're just in a game of chess. I'm going to go here hoping that he pushes, because if he pushes, then I just go back and this whole trade doesn't happen. So that was a little bit of like a feint. I faked him because I kind of wanted this, because that capture was going to be a little spooky for me. So definitely there's going to be some stuff going down on this side of the board. I mean, pin this guy. Not really pinned, but we got a piece over there. And I'm just going to scoot the king over. He's got his king all the way along the side, so his rook is not going to be able to go there. So the reason I'm doing this is because his is there, so his rook might go there. So I want my rook to match that rook. So if we have like a bunch of trades, it's kind of like a same side thing. I think we're just going to take. Okay. Scoot back. I mean, he can come in. That's not so much fun. He comes in, I scoot up, but then I'm coming back over here. Oh boy. We're going to go for this trade to get my queen out. I need to get my queen active. We're going to just trade this off. Attack the queen. There's no more light square bishop protecting this square, so that's a good square for my knight. Plain and simple. If he moves this, we just trade this off with check, and that's actually quite a bit of pressure. He can't move this knight now. So now that I know that, I can grab this and then bring his queen there, or the king there. I feel like that was a bad move. Probably that was a bad move. Knight here. That for sure was a bad move. This knight was way more valuable. We're just going to trade this off. Just going to trade that off. Then his knight has to go back. We put a rook to the open file. He can't come here because my knight is there. I think we're going to go like this. Then we're going to double the rooks. We're actually... Fudge. If I go here, he hits me with a fork. I can't hit him with this check. That's what I missed. But if I go here, then he pins me. Then I come. Then he comes. Then I'm too late. What am I supposed to do? All right, we're going to do this. He's going to hit us with a fork, and then I'm going to scoot over. Then his knight gets to a wonderful, wonderful square in my position. He didn't want to do it. So I think we hit him with this check. If we can trade off these rooks, I'm going to grab this pawn. This pawn is weak. That hangs a knight. And I need to bring my king. We can take that with check. We can then go for this guy. What about... Oh, he let me do it. Okay, so now he's got no pass pawn over here. I've got 26 seconds. I really just need to open up this position. I could... We're going to take. Push. Push. Here. King in. If he takes my knight, I make a queen. And he's going to resign. Okay. Did I win that game because of the opening? The answer is no. But did it absolutely work? Yes. And so let's just see. We've got the beautiful setup. And like I said, you're normally going to get this setup and then a capture is going to happen. What are you going to do? I mean, that's just going to happen. And so when they capture, the knight goes here. As you can see, I already put my B knight on D2. And so he can no longer go here. And so basically you always want your knights here because they're safe and they apply pressure to the center. And so you're always going to see the knights on these squares for that reason. And so we still want our knights on these squares. It doesn't really matter which knight. And so let's just scoot back a tad. This is a real game, a real position. We get right here. Let's see what the computer has to say about the position. Do I have an advantage? 0.4. I know you guys can't really see it because my face is in the way, but right here, 0.4. Can you see the line at least? Right here, 0.4. Slightly winning. So the opening absolutely worked. One other thing, let's check it with the opening. I want to show you that this position, Opening Explorer, Lichess database, this has only happened in 335 games. The lion defense. The lion's jaw defense. What? Yeah, so either way, this has happened 335 times out of 3 billion games. Out of 3 billion games, okay? So if we go e4 out of this position, I mean, it significantly lowers the percentage. But let's do one more, and I'm just going to show you how this opening really, really works. We've got the white pieces again against a slightly weaker opponent. We throw a pawn in the middle. We're going to put a pawn here, put a pawn here. This is going to work. Okay, he let us do it. Now we defend that. If the capture happens, this knight can go there because he has not already gone here. This bishop first, so I can put the knight here. You don't want to do the knight first because then the bishop can't get out. Then I'm going to castle. What the heck was that move? That was a weird move. And so you don't necessarily want two pawns isolated in the center. They can become kind of weak. So what we're really going to do is jump forward and attack this pawn. Attack this knight with our pawn. Because then we've just got pawns in the middle. So this pawn push will be my next idea. I want to put my queen here, but I don't want to get hit with that. So now we're going to do it. If he jumps in, I'm actually kind of okay with just taking. And I've got a little 20-second deficit. If we see this, I'm just going to push forward. If capture, then I have an open file to play with. Let's just attack the bishop. Okay, we'll come back. How many times do you want to repeat? I'm not going to keep repeating. We're going to hit him with this check just because I can. Boom. Check. Then we come back. Pre-move. We're going here. You capture. I'm capturing. Pushing this pawn. I feel like that pulls your dude out of the center. He definitely wants to remove the defender of this. Then he will have two things attacking. So I'm going to put my rook here so that when he does capture, this guy almost just trapped himself. We're going here. This pawn push suddenly becomes scary. He could come in with his queen, and that would probably fix all of his problems. But here? Where's this bishop going, bro? Defend it? And I think that's going to work, because he can't really escape, or I'm just going to take him. So he could take and ruin my pawn structure. That might be good. Or defend, and I take, and then he's got like this thorn in my position. So we're just going to take. Now my king is maybe a little bit fragile over here. What's the plan forward? Let's do this. This is a little bit scary, so we're going to maybe go for this. But we're kind of hoping he pushes and then I go here. And then if he attacks us, he didn't push his pawn, so we're getting out of the position. We're defending this from the knight. We don't want to... King over here, because I'm absolutely scared about getting steamrolled over here. But I'm up a piece, so I shouldn't be too scared. And I have this huge wall of pawns in the middle. We're going to trade off a piece. Rook over here. Little bit scared about all of this stuff. I mean, we go here. I don't know. Don't really have a great plan. I mean, I would like my knight here to fork them, but that's going to take a lot of moves to get there. I might even just go back. Sometimes when you have a winning position, like I'm a little bit losing on time. And so playing a little bit quicker would definitely be in my favor. So we're just going to make a couple moves here and there. Not sure what he's trying to do. If he pushes, I'm literally just going to push. Maybe king here. We will, in fact, push, attack the rook. The rook has to go somewhere. Then this fork is disastrous for our opponent here. We will hit him with that fork. That wasn't defended by my knight. This works. Sorry, I'm losing track of what's actually going on in this position. Now my king is a little bit weak. So we're going to hit him. We're going to hit him with the rook. Would love to double my rooks into the position, attacking the queen. We defend everything. Here, I'm going to hide my king back over here. This is really the problem. My king is kind of naked. This is defended by everything over here is held. What a ridiculous position. I'm going to attack the queen, maybe. Maybe scoot back. We can trade that off. Scoot back. Now this is defended. That's a check. Grab a pawn. That wasn't smart. We're going to go here. Here. 8 seconds. I'm pretty much just going to flag him here. It's not what you want to do, but it's what we're going to do. We pin the queen. I'm pretty sure that this is hanging. Scoot back and attack the queen. 14 seconds against 4. Bro is cooked. Absolutely cooked. We're going to just go here with check. Yes, that hangs the bishop, but we're going to go over here. Here. Check. And literally my next move was going to be flag the opponent. And so just like the other game, did I win that because of the opening? No, I won that game because I'm amazing at chess. I almost swore. I'm amazing at chess. I'm just kidding. But let's check this out. We have more or less the same situation. This capture is going to happen, but you don't got to be spooked. It just depends where your knights are at and which knight is going to go where. And so let's go through this with the computer and see how this is. So we're in the Lichess database. We do see the capture. We bring the knight out. We bring the bishop. We bring the other knight. Then we castle. This has happened 21 times out of, it was like 30 billion, 30 something billion, 3 billion, a lot of numbers, okay? This never happens ever, okay? And one thing you got to be a little worried about is this fork, because you want to bring your queen up, but you don't want the knight to fork you. So this pawn push makes a lot of sense to take that idea away. And so look at this, +1 advantage. And I'm not even thinking. I'm not even thinking. I'm thinking about how am I going to get this structure to make a video for you guys. So literally go out there, play this opening. It's great. It really, really works. And so I can say that. Now, of course, if you play against somebody and they play like the top engine line every single move, okay, maybe it's not such a great setup, but the chances of that happening are like slim to none unless they're cheating. So I know those were blitz games, but I just wanted to get the point across. You get through the opening, I got a +1 advantage. He has no idea how to play against this. I don't really know how to play against this exact specific setup against him. And so there you go. I hope you enjoyed, learned something, go out there and play it, and let me know how you did. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.